Hey friends, this is Kendall Matthews, and welcome to the Kendall Matthews Show, where I interview a lot of interesting individuals from around the world, people who are making things happen in their day-to-day business lives, in their careers, and even in their professional careers where they're helping a lot of other people. And you know what I do is I dig down into the nitty-gritty of what really makes them tick, and then getting some great how-to tips that will help you out in doing the things that you need to do in your day-to-day, some nice productivity hacks, some life hacking things. And today I have a great guest on the line. His name is Ben Faw. And Ben, how are you doing today?
Wonderful, Kendall. Excited to be talking with you.
All right. Now, Ben and I go back. I met him about a year or two ago on LinkedIn. And then I saw his profile there, and then all of a sudden we kind of connected, and we're doing some great things with LinkedIn. And he is one of the great. Now, what is your official title over there?
Yeah, my title here is account executive inside the technology team on the West Coast.
Yeah, and so with Ben and being on the technology team, and as every one of my listeners know, that I'm very deep in technology and especially working with different APIs and getting everything connected. But Ben is very great at looking at different opportunities for business and business owners to help them achieve their online marketing needs. And what was very interesting to me is his background. And before I get into all the questions that I have for you, Ben, I know that you have a military background, and then now you're in software technology. Could you talk to us about your journey, about your experience from military to LinkedIn, and how did that go?
Yeah, thanks, Kendall. It's been a very interesting journey for me. Starting out with the military portion, really in my undergraduate experience at West Point, and then leading to, active duty service in the Army, which, really took me all around the world, everywhere from Hawaii to Georgia to, northern Iraq. And then, after that kind of segment began to, come to an end, I had some interesting opportunities to kind of start my transition into the private sector, which involved an investment banking internship in New York City, where I started to do a little work related to technology, kind of from the financial advisory side, and then moving into about 9 months working at a company called Tesla Motors, doing electronic vehicles and really innovative things, in Silicon Valley, which ended up, opening additional doors, which eventually brought me right here to this seat at LinkedIn.
Now, you kind of skipped over that. Now, you said that you're a West Point grad. Is that right?
Correct.
Talk about that story. How did you get involved with that, and what led you to West Point?
Yeah, it's a story within a story. I really did not come from one of these military families where several generations served in various capacities. I have all the respect in the world for those families, but in my own case, neither of my parents had served in any capacity. Didn't have any huge local mentor that was connected to or had served. Instead, it was really just a deep passion for reading, for history, which prompted me to do a lot of reading on my own. In many cases, when I'm reading these different military history books and about military history, so many of the kind of childhood heroes were West Point graduates, ranging from people like Eisenhower, MacArthur, and so as it moved forward, I just decided that was something I wanted to really focus on and see if I could get in an offer of admission. And, eventually I did actually get that offer of admission, and that's kind of what put that, dream from the whole side of something I wished for into something that was actually happening.
So that's pretty awesome, and it kind of goes in line with a book that I just finished from Reid Hoffman called Alliance. Now, did you? I'm quite sure you read that book, and you probably even have a review on it. Now, from your experience from West Point, now at LinkedIn, and reading that book, is there any kind of similarities or some kind of lessons learned that you have now from LinkedIn and having your experience in the military?
Yeah, I think Reed touches on some really powerful points, as I'm sure you are fresh on your mind, particularly with the I thought the connection of kind of this different tours of duty. That concept is one that we held near and dear to our hearts at West Point. It was near and dear to kind of the way the Army functions, and I really think we're starting to see it play out here at LinkedIn. And you know what, I think Reed saw that from the military, and you don't take every aspect of it from the military and just fit a square into a peg hole in the private sector, but many of the traits and themes work as far as, guess what, not everyone is going to work the same job and same role for 50 years. Instead, there'll be people who will move from maybe different functional areas in the company. They may move upward in the company. They may move parallel in the company. And then others may stay in the exact same role. They might be in a particular engineering role where they can continue to grow, and that's where they're going to stay. And so I thought that was really neat, that Reed drew those parallels, and having kind of seen them in my own life, particularly in the West Point journey, starting as a follower only, and then as a part of the fourth class system they have there, you do move into leadership roles. You do have staff experience. You get those different functional and managerial experiences all in kind of a rotational fashion, so that you really do develop all those skills that you need.
Well, following that type of framework, what does your typical day-to-day look like, Ben, and how do you make it productive for you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because I'm a real stickler about several things in my day that I don't really negotiate with. And so I think for me, it actually goes all the way back to the roots at West Point and the Army. But the most important thing for me in the day is, how does the day start? And every single one of my days has a couple of battle rhythms right out the gate, which is getting up and getting into the gym first thing, no matter what. And that might be a really packed day, and it literally may be 30 minutes of really light cardio and stretching and abdominal and core work. Most days I like to make it closer to 65 minutes and include a little bit more than that. But I found for me, getting that exercise, getting drinking water, getting hydrated right out the gate, and then I like to eat some sort of light breakfast that gets that energy going. I found for me those instant efforts out the gate start my day on the right note. I'm 100% awake. I'm alert. I've got blood flow. I've got oxygen levels high, and that to me is one of these small steps that I just found puts me in the right mindset. I'm optimistic, and that flows into the entirety of the whole day. And I try to continue throughout the day, I think, never finding myself in this place where I've been sitting or standing for 4 hours and not moving. I'm going to move around at the least every couple of hours just to stay engaged. And I've found ideas come to me. Some of the best ideas I've had have been either in the gym in the morning when I'm by myself and able to think about problems I'm facing with different companies I'm working with, or walking around here in the offices. And so that's probably one of my biggest recommendations that kind of connects back to my roots that I think really makes an impact.
I think I found a new term that I'm going to use with my team, and that is what you said was battle rhythm. So you wake up in the day getting yourself in the battle rhythm, so you're ready to conquer your day every single day. That's pretty awesome.
100% agree. Yeah, it seems like small things, but I think they can be incredibly significant when you look at them over time, in terms of the mental, the physical, and the emotional. They definitely interconnect and become very powerful.
During your day, I know you work with a lot of business-to-business marketers like myself. What is one strategy that's helped you grow your business or your accounts, or you've helped seen other businesses be more successful in using LinkedIn's platform?
Yeah, that's interesting you bring that up. I think probably the biggest thing for me is what I think of as one of the most effective steps in communication, which is just listening. I find the more I listen and the more I put myself out there and make it clear and listen actively, the more successful I can help my clients become. Because as I become a better and better listener and know more and more about the challenges, the pain points, the gaps, that's when I can then go and look around inside, my set of company internal resources, my network, and find those tools to help that person succeed. If I don't listen, I have no idea what I really need to do to help make that client succeed.
Right, exactly. And that success is very important to your clients and very important to yourself, especially as you're talking about how you want to make sure everybody's productive around you in your environment. So when these individuals or these clients come on board, what are they looking for from you? Like, what is your specialty? What are they trying to accomplish?
Great. Yeah. So when I think about my specialty, it's probably about generating leads. So I think that's a broad stroke. Lead gen, demand gen, marketing qualified lead. That's a broad stroke. I think with a more specific stroke down to our platform, I think I've gotten a lot better at quickly identifying what solution is likely to be the best solution for that client based on a combination of their actual objectives in marketing and their resources. If they have a really robust content library, and they really want a specific type of lead, I've got a good idea now of how to build the right target audience, how to match that with the right product and their internal resources to get the highest ROI as fast as possible. And that's, there's certainly quite a bit of science, but there's certainly some art in that competency as well.
Perfect. And then when you're looking for those different ROI numbers and making sure that your clients are successful, is it what are they purchasing through LinkedIn? Is it just having like a premium account, or is it something even more than that? What is your packages called?
Yeah, great question. So we offer a variety of different solutions now, really everything from very top-of-funnel efforts, which are generally more for brand marketers, which is primarily just display, different forms of display advertising, all the way down to sponsored updates, which is kind of building off that whole idea of content marketing, which we've seen be a powerful business-to-business marketing tool for a few years now, and that's a great solution we've seen for clients who are past that. Okay, we've got a premium subscription to LinkedIn. We're using that for certain growth aspects. We want something that will scale wider than that, and then combining those efforts with things that I know you're familiar with, Kendall, such as the influencer posts, which are yet another way to really combine paid and unpaid efforts to really make the platform hum for your company.
So you're helping these clients, and you've helped us and myself immensely. And Ben is great at finding out different type of triggers and conversion metrics, and he's been very helpful with that. So if you ever want to reach out to Ben Fall, check him out on LinkedIn. He'll help you out. Let him know that you heard this on the KendallMatthews show, and he'll be able to take care of you. But Ben, I have a couple more questions. I know you're busy, but and this is one of the personal type of questions, so hold your seat here. So what is the best $100 you recently spent?
Yeah, it's a great question, Michael. I don't get asked that one too often. I'm going to probably go back a little bit in time and say it was it actually wasn't. It was more than $100, but it was a share of Apple stock purchased back in 2012, I believe. That's probably been one of the best investments most recently. It's a company I think that has some powerful competitive advantages, and it's worked out in terms of a strong rate of return for me making that investment.
Wow, you just made me kind of feel very embarrassed, because when I answered that question for someone, I said a pillow and a night mask.
Well, those might be even more powerful, because think about it, you may have taken your own performance and increased return on investment by 2 or 3x by having that great night's rest.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have the Apple stock. So, All right, so three more questions really quick for you. So what software web services do you use every day, and what do you love about them?
Well, one of those is easy. I'm on LinkedIn real regularly. I think it's a compelling platform because of the ability to engage with people and keep in touch with people from all these different walks of my own life, and so that's a powerful tool. I do like Google Documents. I like Google's suite of apps in general, and I'm inside something related to Google on a pretty regular, daily basis. And then I do use Salesforce. I think there is a lot of value in that platform in terms of, having a thoughtful way to kind of manage customer relationships and to kind of thoughtfully, keep an eye on how you're, forecasting and managing opportunities and kind of in general sales. Right.
And I know that we talked about Alliance and Reid Hoffman's books earlier. So is there another book that you would recommend my listeners to check out, and is there any reason why?
Yeah, there is a book I'd strongly recommend. There's two, but I'm going to focus in on one because I think it's probably one of the more interesting design thinking books I've read recently. It's called How to Kill a Unicorn, and it's written by one of the founders of Fahrenheit 212, which is a design thinking and innovation consulting firm, and it's probably got some of the most interesting ways to think about attacking business problems that I've seen lately. And if you want to get kind of outside the boxes that you normally work in, I think the author's name is Mark Payne, and it's called How to Kill a Unicorn. Very, very interesting book that I think almost anyone in business can read and likely get something out of.
Perfect. Mark Payne, How to Kill a Unicorn. Love the title.
I know, and I'm gonna send you my review on it because I know you're gonna find it compelling.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. Well, folks, we've been talking to Ben Faw, a LinkedIn account executive, and extraordinary person, and I really appreciate the time today, Ben. So, how can people connect with you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, great question. So, much like you, I'm up on LinkedIn. I think I'm the only Ben Faw there. Also on Twitter. It's the only difference is instead of Ben Faw, it's just BT Faw. Those are probably the two best channels because they're just easy to get out there and find people on.
Right. Now, tell people how to spell Faw.
F-A-W. Very tricky. It's probably one of the harder things in my name, given it's only 6 letters.
Exactly. All right. So that's Ben Faw. Well, folks, thank you for listening to the Kendall Matthews Show. Now, as I always promise, I interview interesting people who are making things happen and who are helping other individuals and enterprise companies out. And more importantly, that they have great technical backgrounds as well, so they can really get into the nitty-gritty. And that's why I so much appreciate Ben. And until next time, keep on doing great things in this greatest nation on God's green earth.